Hey folks, Greg Rice here at Nexus Property Management's headquarters in Pawtucket, Rhode Island. And right now I want to break down the process for you in running and starting your own property management company. Now the first thing you need to realize is that you're probably going to fail and close up shop. And that's just the hard truth of starting as a small business. Now once you're ready to go, you need to figure out what state you want to operate in. And most states are requiring that you have your broker's license just to open your doors. Okay, so then you say to yourself, I'll get a broker's license. Well, not so fast, okay? In Rhode Island, for example, you need to be a salesperson for 2 years in order to apply, not to get, to apply for your broker's license. So having your salesperson's license means 2 years of working with clients, buying and selling real estate. Now, after you do that, after you apply, you get your license, there's some schooling involved and a test, of course. You then need to figure out where you want your office to be. Now, most offices that I see are buried in these hideous, atrocious office plazas, okay? So they're on the 3rd floor next to a dentist, or on the 5th floor next to an attorney or an accountant. It's these office parks that just throw everybody in the same building and everybody loses their identity, okay? You lose your ability to be creative because you have to follow the procedures and the requirements of whatever building you're in. So that's your first opportunity to make a grave mistake, is choosing the wrong location. Okay, now as a Nexus franchisee, it's required, okay, it's in our contract that you have a street front office. Okay, you need to have a dedicated door that's just for you and some type of signage visible to passerbys. And that's because you create your own identity, and also your visibility and exposure is exponential compared to these nasty office buildings, okay? So get a street front office. It doesn't need to be big, maybe a couple hundred square feet to start, and then you can go from there, okay? Now, after you figured out your location, you need to build a website. Now, websites are extremely intensive and extremely expensive, okay? Now, as a Nexus franchisee, however, we provide you a turnkey website that's already organically coming up at the top of Google. So you need to consider that. After you figure out your website, you need to figure out your branding, of course, to put on that website. So making a logo, making something that will resonate with your customers is also very intensive and expensive. But once again, as a Nexus franchisee, you get that provided. A startup kit for all of these things are done, okay? Once this is all set, your next option is to figure out employees or not. So here's what I'm talking about. When Nexus opened, our CEO, Nick Dagnillo, did everything, okay? I'm talking about the management, the leasing, the maintenance, which would have been a sight to see, and also our inspections. So he was a one-man band, made a lot of money because he did everything, but he capped himself out because he couldn't go any further. He could only be in so many places at once. So the next person he had to hire was his maintenance director. So now all of the maintenance requests, all of the inspections were somebody else's responsibility. So that's what we suggest, is that you quickly hire one person for maintenance, and also an option is to hire one person just for leasing. Okay, so leasing, maintenance, and management. Those are your 3 facets that you're going to deal with off the bat. So you want to be able to manage that. Now, after you've set up, you've got your license, you set up your office, you've got your logos, and you got your employee situation set up, you're off to the races. What you have to do after all of these things are taken care of is get into networking groups. You need to make friends, industry-related professionals that you can start to do business with and receive business from. So this is very important. You can't sit there like a hermit crab and wait for people to call you. You got to get out there and pound the pavement. Now, if you follow all of these steps, your chances for success are increased. But remember, property management, just like real estate, is a long-term haul, okay? So it's not done overnight, and it definitely takes a lot of experience, a lot of learning, and a lot of accountability. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. And once again, this is Gregory Rice. We're here at Nexus Property Management, your property managed.